the people instead want the regular Michelle. The regular Michelle.
Hey,
Regular
Michelle,
Michelle.
welcome to the club.
We don't know this
Yes.
Michelle yet. We don't know this yet. Okay.
Yes.
So
Same way
Yes.
you ballad, Leo. Fire. Fire for you, Leo. Fire for you.
Now
uh,
try something new. So let's
oh,
Yes,
see.
I have a start there, somewhere there, and then it will just go on you. Some people add
Yeah.
extensions in it for a while, just
Yeah,
till
I
then.
decided not to.
Yeah, make
Go
it go
just
on,
go
man.
natural, embrace what God give me.
Yeah. I don't like how much I do embrace what God gives. Sometimes we need to add out a little bit for and give you the wisdom to fix you up.
Gonna
So,
go love
I
me.
mean, eventually, you get mine. To come and just cut off mine the other day and look on it now.
How long
So,
it take for
you'll
yours to
get there.
grow? How long did it take you?
I think about 2.5 years ago when I had cut it off. We can look back at some of the videos when I had just cut it back off.
all then it was eat a lot of pork. That's all.
Pork.
Pork good for you.
Well, I will not be eating pork.
You're not gonna take longer. Okay, here, growth. I love that. There, we're gonna buckle it. Pork fat.
We are very uneven on the camera. Either Michelle need to bring herself up or
Up,
something.
Can just tilt
up
your camera
higher.
down a little bit more.
There you
Yeah.
go. Thank you so much.
No, come forward. Yes.
All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Leo Gilling, Dan and Michelle. Oh, no, we can't name my surname and give for them surname. So, good morning. This is Diana Davis Smith, Michelle White, and Leo Gilling on the Saturday morning conversation right here. Wanna go? Oh,
We do fine. We quite a do
Okay.
fine. We have a whole heap of question because me see some things happen in a phone place this week. We don't have one debate. I mean, I wonder who the man there who did that debate was. For me, I never recognize him because he sounds so Democrat that me I say, who the man there?
Are you sure he's on Democrat? Because me find him quite unappealing. I mean, I love his stature, meaning that his delivery is good.
Yes.
Make him sound, the people them we can tell like good and make it
Yeah.
sound like a true, make it sound like a true. That is,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
that
what
is.
it
A
was.
face look fatty.
Michelle, what do you?
You get conscious enough. I'm not here. Just continue.
So you know them people that we tell like good and you believe that are true. Basically, that's what he is, and
Wow.
I am very afraid of him. Very
Mm.
afraid because
How
I
about you?
know because I
Because
know
he
he's gonna
proves that
run again in 2028. That is the problem.
he's gonna run 2028.
No doubt. To me, is he will.
Well, let me tell you, I was like, who is that man? Because that cannot be the Republican man. Who is that man? That was
Oh,
debating.
I didn't watch it, but I just watched the highlights of it.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, he did come off not very sincere in how he did this delivery Vance. But it was kind of shocking because I expected him to outdo Waltz because as you know, he went to Ivy League, he's an attorney.
Yes,
Was hasn't, like he's just
that's
like
school
a
teacher.
teacher, but he has years of experience as a politician.
Yes.
So, but um, he wasn't answering question, Vance. He was dodging. But I love how they were respectful to each other on the platform, though. They
Mm.
weren't shouting over each other. They weren't disrespectful. So you could kind of hear their thoughts to every matter that they brought up. So
All right,
that's my
good.
point.
Joni De La Plata says, "Good morning, doctors." With hearts shared, I will be listening as I move around. Welcome, Joni. You're really on time this morning. I forget your award. Mark Hayes say, "Medea." So, welcome. And I'm reading from Restream, but you know, some I got Facebook because I love forget the emojis and stuff. I mean, I know how to do it on this.
Just click on it and you do it. Click to the side.
On this. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. He says, "Good morning, team." Mark Hayes says, "Good morning, team." So, Leo, how was your week?
My week, um, my week was rough.
Mm.
I had too much information to to bring all together. And a lot of the information is misinformation and disinformation, and I have to be sifting through.
Mhm.
Read your text, Michelle. Yes.
My
Um,
text.
it's too much information for me to be sifting through. Me want the information pure and clean, and it's not coming pure and clean anymore. And it's like another job to trying to sift
Mhm.
through to find out what the correct thing is, and I have to be fact checking, and that's too much work, man. It's too much work. That's my delivery this morning. That's the difficulty that I have.
Lord, you sound tired.
Mm.
They you turn AI because you have fact check everything.
Everything.
You have source everything all over the place and it a confuse you.
It is. It is.
Anyway, Jamaica, I must confuse you even more because confusion down here, you know, rain it. Rain it.
When me say, so here's that. When me tell you, say,
Uh-huh,
we can't me have so much information and we have to fact check. I do
uh-huh.
me about an American.
Oh, I don't know what you're about. Oh,
America. Me know how we filter through the thing them because me know what the laws are, most of them are. So, but
uh-huh,
Jamaica want the Jamaican laws me have a problem with because you live America so long and
uh-huh.
you accustomed what to a certain lifestyle and so forth. And so every time something come up at Jamaica and somebody says something, boom, you have to run, go and go find out which part the law there that says, okay, so and so and so and so. And it's hard. It's very, very hard. I must tell you. It was very, very hard.
And it must have been compounded by the fact. Well, Michelle a lawyer, so she know if you find the things them.
To be
Well,
honest, Jamaica saw you don't know what true. To be honest,
Yeah,
you just have to just listen and try to say, does this make sense? Because
absolutely.
even sometimes when you think like, all right, this don't make sense, so impossible for them to say it. Then when you look, they actually say it. So it's kind
Exactly.
of like your
Exactly.
mind blowing.
That is absolutely true. You can't think that someone would,
Mm-hmm.
should, and could say this.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's said. And then you
Yeah,
say, okay, shoot, where, where, where am I? Because I'm
exactly.
seeing this, and then after going now, I'm going to fact check this person and say whether or not this, and then I have to come up with my own. All right, so here's the problem that I have. The problem that I have is even if I come up with the truth about the facts, because of who said the unrealistic things, I have a problem saying what the truth is because I am afraid of the backlash. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Can you imagine the regular person who's out there who cannot speak on things? Must be really frustrating because I do the fact check and I found the truth and I can't talk about it. It's wrong.
You're really wrong because it's hard because sometimes when I literally hear people talk about, like they angry about something, then
Yeah,
when I kind of listen to them, I kind of say, but this is not the truth. It just not make no sense.
absolutely.
But then you have to say, like, you have to think critically if you say it just not make no sense. But
Right.
then I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm not going to argue with you because
Ah,
if you already have this in your head and you talk with so much conviction, I'm going to waste my time. So I'm just like, all right, continue with what you say. And just leave it
that's
at
my
that.
point. That is what I'm talking about, Michelle. It's hard because here I am coming on the show and there are so many things to talk about, and then some of them may have got left off because me no want somebody to say so and so and so and so, or me no want somebody to go shoot down. Now, I have a family member to see, two family members who I wrote an article, and the family member called me and said, boy, Leo, me no like that, brethren, me love you bad, me don't want to see you, nobody come hurt you. And I'm saying to myself, I didn't push back on him because I don't want him to feel like he didn't do me justice a while ago. So I didn't push back on him. But I'm saying to myself, why is it that I have to fear what I write? Because I'm not writing things that are off the wall or illegal. I'm just writing my opinion that is responsible. I'm writing the facts that is responsible, but then I still have to worry because people are out there worried about me. That's something wrong. Something wrong with that.
Yeah, but talking to your point, you like even when you experience something and you're talking about your truth, people are talking about it as if you're
Absolutely.
lying.
Yes.
Prime
Yeah.
example with your Shane Bolt.
Mhm.
Expressing how he feels because he lost millions of dollars. And he's talking about how he feels going through it, not getting his money. And people ripping him apart as if he's not supposed to say anything about him losing his money. And they're dragging this young man to filth. So it's kind of like they want him to lie and say, oh, they didn't take my money. It doesn't bother me.
And I'm
To them
fine.
feel better. Yeah. So it kind of just sad. You just can't win. So that's why I'm like, Jamaica gone way down. And it kind of like what you're supposed to do. But I saw a beautiful comment about myself, which I could read.
I don't know.
Looking,
By the way, people, me
Go
don't
right ahead, Michelle.
know
Go
who-
right ahead.
I know Diana Davis Smith and I know me, but I don't know that other person. Is a guest Diana? Is that a guest?
Mishibu, Mishibu
Michi Boo in the house. Michi Boo in the
in the
house.
house. Joni said, looking gorgeous, Michelle. Thank you,
Yeah.
Joni.
What the
Amen,
people
Leo.
then lie. Jesus.
All right,
Don't
Michael.
hate, Leo.
Good
Don't hate.
morning, folks. Where's the rest of the people? Have you all shared? Did they get a pop up? What happened this morning? Did people get a notification?
Did you
Um,
share it?
I shared it on Facebook. I went to Facebook and
There
I
are
shared.
a lot of people on Michelle Diana. I think this is the most we've seen who's tuned in so in such a quick time. So
Okay.
yeah.
Marcus says Leo communication drama is tough to deal with. Michael Tomlinson is in the house. Michael, he said, morning, folks. Ooh.
You have to see a picture of him. Who that? Who that?
Ooh. No.
So are you guys using the online chat? That's where you guys are seeing the chats. Oh yeah, that's where you're seeing it, right? Not
Yeah,
on
me,
the
I'm
Yeah.
on
right, okay.
literally. Johnny says, Leo, are you fishing for a compliment? Yeah, oh, Leo always object when they say, oh, me and Michelle
No,
so
but
pretty.
no, but I got it. No, but I got it.
Me hands
Retired.
up. He
Retired.
might as well come to the party saying, tell me a lie.
Ah, woo.
Uh,
Man, I am not gonna go there. We have so many things to talk about today. My gosh, it's been a hard week, especially on Jamaica. The things that are happening. There's so many. Let me show you some topics that I picked up this week. Let me see if I can.
oh, so this has a feature to show?
Yeah, there's a big thing about independence and emancipation. I saw where and I
Yeah.
you saw that you saw
Yes,
that.
but they was trying to roll it out into one weekend and nobody give it with 2 day. But me have a strong objection to that.
It says the PSOJ is calling for constructive stakeholders engagement to lobby for
You're
the
not
restoration
sharing,
of
we're not seeing it.
celebration.
Your intention was to make us see, we're not seeing it.
Oh, you're not seeing it?
No.
Go down to one part to the right. There's a notes.
Oh, down at the bottom.
Yeah, it says notes down there to the right.
Yeah. But then they changed their stance on that position. I think they did on
No, what happened
Friday.
is that they said that wasn't their stance in the first place. Their stance is they want a 4-day weekend, not necessarily on the holidays. They're not wanting to put the holidays in one. They want the government to have a
Just
4-day
establish one long Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday holiday and that.
and then that wherever emancipation and
You know
fly,
what?
really matter. But I don't I thought about that, and so I like to think about the things that happen in other countries. I like to use precedents to help me to decide, and I don't know anybody who celebrate their holidays on a different day, just because. I don't see anything like
Yeah,
that.
man, they celebrate on different days.
Tell
Like
me, tell me.
the day you got independence is different from the day you got emancipated. It's are two different significant days. So
No.
to me,
I know that,
merging
I know
them
that
wouldn't
message
be
though. I know that message though. Let
No,
me
we
what
are
I'm
saying.
saying, Michelle, is that what is being proposed or seemingly being proposed is that we identify the second weekend in August for argument's sake and say that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday is a long public holiday and we will use that second Thursday, that second Friday and Monday to celebrate emancipation and independence. It doesn't matter if it's not the first. It doesn't matter if it's not the sixth at any time in August. It
We just
just
the
that
weekend.
week. And so he's objecting to that on the premise that everybody who celebrates their independence celebrate your independence on the Independence Day.
Yeah.
Don't shift that. So we see no reason why we would want to agree to shift it. And I agree with you, Leo, that if it's August 6th is my independence, make it be August 6th. If it is a Monday,
Whatever
Tuesday,
day it
Wednesday,
is.
Thursday, Friday, I don't care. Make me celebrate it on that day.
It's
The
like you want
only
to tell me to celebrate
flexibility,
Christmas on the 29th.
exactly. The only flexibility I see really is and we not have no Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving where it says a set Thursday. And we not have none. So no, me no want no flexibility. You
But
do and
why? But I never read the article. But why was their argument to do that? Is it because of productivity?
well,
Well, that one, economics, pretty much economics.
what
In
economics? I mean productivity.
Yeah.
well, economics in the sense that they want to be able to
They
pay
the POC.
PSOJ. The people, yeah. What the PSOJ mean again?
Um,
PSOJ, Private Sector Organization of Jamaica.
Then to
Privileged
alter
Citizens
order.
of Jamaica, they call them
Yeah.
too.
They
Then to
want
alter
to
order.
consolidate it so that they can make money and then not have to lose employees at work. But this is a public, no, it's called a
But
public
establish.
holiday. It's called a public holiday because the government said it's a public holiday, right? Public holiday. Not
But the
My name is
audacity.
Leo.
holiday.
Blood
But at
pressure.
the audacity, they just think their money control
Oh,
the world
that's
now.
it. I can tell me, say, me must celebrate. No, listen, Emancipation Day in my book is the most important
Exactly.
holiday in the entire
Black history.
year. Okay,
Black
this is
history.
this is when we became who we are today. This is when they kill off all of the people them from Africa, bring we come here in a split. And you, because you read, and because you have money,
Because of money, you
you
Intention.
think you control.
It's not our
But that's the
intention
alter
to
order.
offend any
400
person.
damn years that you guys have been doing this and you still want to do it, right?
It is not our intention to offend anyone who is listening to our program. We are just getting emotional.
Well, they are getting emotional, but they have the audacity and then to alter order.
Very
Because they think they
ultra.
have money. Because they get out of control and think they run Jamaica because they have money. There's like a group of people have money. They have
Exactly.
it nerves to say that we should change the holiday if it please them. So
Me,
they can make their
Well, they
money.
just come back. They just come back and issue a statement soon
Yeah, that's what I
thereafter
said.
and say
Yeah,
that
correct it.
they
But they will
meant.
alter order. Like how they like in their head they really think it would be okay.
Yes.
It
Like
absolutely.
Because this is Jamaica, it's not a real place. Mark Hay says all Leo has to do to start singing karaoke and he will get all the credit.
Oh,
Lorna Hamilton Blackwood says, good morning, ladies and gents. North Carolina in the house. Hey, Lorna, how you and Hurricane Betley and how Uno down in North Carolina are gone? Any friends have impacted you want to share any stories about what's happening down there? VM Heslop says, hello again, everyone. Again, you cannot type on Facebook. Of course, you can type on Facebook. Then me I type here, so hello. Let me just say hello right there, VM Heslop.
yeah, you probably need to change some settings there. So.
VM, glad to see you.
But
hey
you
John,
don't understand why Michelle keep getting shot. Michelle is not a
in
shot.
a move.
She, thank you. That's where you are. You're supposed to stay right. That's all. Okay,
I guess
so
we have to sit
I think just
upright,
camera.
yeah, please sit
Um,
right. Your mother tells you not
be
to slow.
professional.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
don't
much.
sit
Johnny says
upright.
downward flexibility. Organization management means better forecasting. Why should people give up their celebration and observances because those knuckleheads are ignorant and want to compete with foreigners? Yes, Leo, you are correct. Forgive you for the other stuff.
But did you read United comment?
United Church. Oh, United Church is here. Good morning. I have been searching for you guys since 10 a.m. on my page. Jackie. Oh, Jackie Brissett. I missed the first part. Brissett, we're glad to hear you. You need to mark it so that you know. Now you have to search all over the place.
You
Leo,
know,
you never get no notification.
you
Um,
know, you
how
know.
was your week, Jackie? Tell us. And Faith says, good morning. Faith is awake. Can you believe Faith wake up early? Claudette Jennings says, "Good morning, everyone. Greetings from New York." Hey, thank you very much. I see you this morning sending some birthday greetings to some of your brethren, but we can do that again after. All right. So,
Right,
Leo,
I made a comment to a friend of mine this morning, and I said, I told him how I feel about how the power brokers, the one percenters want to us, and especially the new generation, Gen Zs and Gen Zs and whatever them are. They want us to forget slavery, They want us to put it aside, but they want to keep what a thing name.
privilege.
Huh? No,
So, hold on.
there was the Holocaust. They remind us of the Holocaust every year, and then tell us all of the bad things that were done to the Jews. But they don't want to hear about the bad things that were done to people like me, the people for 400 years. Only in America, 1965 is a pivotal time in America. That's when black women can start vote. That's when a lot of the freedoms that black people have today. It's only 50 years ago, right? That the freedoms that black people have today started. Prior to that, they have one thing we call Jim Crow. Prior to that, they have slavery. Trust me, it is not very far, and we should not be forgetting it. So when people tell you, say, you must put aside Emancipation Day, they might tell you if you forget the thing and have fun. That's what I want to do.
So you must have party. Guys, for those of you, I noticed some comments that some people were late in joining because they couldn't find us. I want to tell you that we're discussing an article wherein the private sector organization of Jamaica had proposed the amalgamation of our independence and our Emancipation Day into one long weekend rather than recognizing them as separate days. And Leo is really, really very offended because as he has just said to us a while ago, hey, you're still reminding us of the Holocaust, but you want to paint a picture that, this never existed. Your feedback and your comments are well appreciated. Luna says, it's my grandson, attorney Julian, with on fourth birthday. He's a great
Happy
debater. Let's have
birthday.
blessings. Jeffrey says, good morning to the most honorable doctor and the beautiful Miss Michelle. Leo, send an audit to you, but me.
It's all right. Pretty people.
Treacherous water in the on this Tavares. He never stopped, Jeffrey. Jesse says, good morning, all. Take a little while to find you this morning, and she don't understand why, but we're glad you find me. Paulette, how you late this morning? Good morning, folks. And you need to keep my breakfast. We sure you know cook breakfast. Hey, me make
What
breakfast.
I just
Let me tell you about it. But Leo, I understand the sentiment and I agree with you that we can paint this whole thing, particularly our emancipation, on the pretend that it never exists, and casting aside our celebration is a slap in the face. There are some aspects of of slavery that is still maintained. The plantocracy still want to maintain their dominance and their control and their authority, but the field hands and the slaves must forget the celebration of what it is. Don't bother pass on that part of the story to your children, I suppose.
Absolutely.
Sad.
Sorry.
Paulette said she's up on the road. That's why she joined late.
And it was kind of strange that this thing was released right about the same day of when the Prime Minister
the I see something.
with the IC thing, when Prime Minister sued the
Integrity Commission.
when he applied for leave to get a chance to fight his
Let
case.
us read that article. Let us read that article, Leo.
Also,
Um,
you thought that it was strategic, like they thought it would get
there's a
lost.
description.
It's so funny that it came at that time, because I'm not, listen, everybody have them time to do them thing, right? But it was a very, to me, some people will look at that day as a dark day, while some people look at that day as an uplifting day. For me, it was not a very welcoming view to hear the Prime Minister saying wanting to get rid of a thing that says, it's like a guardrail for against corruption. This is the only tool that we can hold our elected officials accountable. And that was the same day that all of this pop out and everybody talk about it, and all of a sudden you see, boom, right in the middle of all of that, oh, we should amalgamate the two, make it the two holidays. I know it was that strange request right in the middle of all of that. You know what I mean? So
Well,
anyway,
I suppose the newspaper, the media houses just push out the news as they get. But let me read the Gleaner's article, and it is dated October 1st, and the headline is Holness seeks court ruling to invalidate Integrity Commission investigation report. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has applied to the Supreme Court to have an Integrity Commission investigation report into his financial affairs rejected as unlawful, unfair, and premised on an unconstitutional law. Quote, I believe that the tabling of the report was intended to embarrass and cause harm to me, and as such was made for an improper purpose and in bad faith to prejudice and harm me, he said, adding that it sought to impute criminal and unethical conduct to me and the other applicants. Holness's application for permission to seek judicial review of actions of the Anti Corruption Agency was filed on September 30th. The report was released by the House of Representatives on September 17th. He is seeking 21 orders or declaration on 69 grounds. A judicial review allows the court to scrutinize processes used by a public authority to make decisions. The applicants are Holness, his company Imperium Investments Holding Limited, and two other connected entities, Positive Media Solutions Limited and Positive Jamaica Foundation Limited, a charity. The respondents are two senior executives of the Commission, Director of Information and Complaints Craig Beresford, first respondent, and Director of Investigations Kevin Stevenson, second respondent, and the Commission itself as the third respondent.
and I think we could stop there.
Okay.
Yeah, we have enough information because I think the first thing that I would want to take up with this was where the Prime Minister said that the act, not the act, but the action of the Integrity Commission embarrassed him, was intended to embarrass him. And you know, I have noted in previous time where there's a gag order where the government has a gag order on the Integrity Commission. And I've also noted in the past where the investigations were blocked from being tabled. I don't know if you remember, all of it was a year ago. And I don't think, I really believe, this is my opinion, I really believe that the Integrity Commission is doing its job. I don't know whether it's wonderful because I have no tool to look against and say, oh, they're 50% or 60% or 80% or 100%. But what I've seen so far and what I've read so far, they are doing, and they've quoted it in almost all of their releases, they're doing this according to the law. And if they're doing it according to the law, then what is illegal about us finding about the Prime Minister? Everybody else in Jamaica, you find out about that kind of stuff. If they are being investigated, if you look at everybody who's been investigated under this law since 2017, pretty much they all had. I mean, there was a lady named the former Speaker of the House. We got to find out her issues, right? And she quit, right? There were other people who were a part of this whole thing, and we saw all of it. And so the fact that it's being held and not being released from last year means that the Integrity Commission has has extended a lot of, to me, have extended a lot of patience in doing what they need to do, and they're tabling the thing according to how they are supposed to be tabled. I'm not so sure where it is that the embarrassment would come in. And the only
Well,
way, yeah, sorry, let me just finish this one. The only way that it would be an embarrassment is if, for example, as a prime minister, there's a rule that says that this can't happen. That
well,
that the interrogation command not supposed to do that. So, go ahead.
yeah, I agree with you. 100%. They're following the procedures that I see. They're following the procedures that were laid out. They never call names. Like, even though through the years they just said like it was 6 people, then it was 8 people. They never called names, so they never disclosed it. However, it was leaked. They never disclosed it. Nobody knew it was. So the prime minister have his personal feelings. Yes, it can be embarrassing to you as a person, but that doesn't mean their agenda was to embarrass you if they are doing their job. Unless you assume that because you're the prime minister, nobody should approach you or do anything. Because even though you mentioned Dalrymple, I'm not sure if you remember the guy McFarlane. I think he was from the Registrar General, where his employees were crying
Right, I saw
because
that.
because he didn't disclose something
Right.
and he had to step away from his job. And
Yeah.
this has always been consistent with everybody else. Vaz, he's a former MP. He went through the whole process
Went through the
where
process.
yeah, and it was embarrassed totally,
Yes.
but they got, like that is just the procedure of it. So now, when I got more information about this IC that was created under this administration, and they were bragging about it, and they have all these things in place. To me, I'm thinking, you thought it was for everybody else and not for you. It is for everybody. And let them do their jobs. People shouldn't be attacking them for doing their job. And that is the only safeguard right now that we have. And then after, when all of this was going out, I saw that they said, "Oh, we're not going to enforce any people who get money
Oh,
unjustly."
enrichment. Oh my God,
Yeah,
that was
like
a
right after. And I'm like, but you were prosecuting people and bringing them to court where they were forfeiting all their money because they couldn't explain where they got the money. I'm not sure if you remember the guy that had like a lot of buildings in New York, I mean, New Kingston, all of that, like last year. All
oh
these
my
people,
God.
their things are being taken because they couldn't explain their money. But now all of a sudden, they're not going to enforce it and remove it. And that is not good for Jamaica. Nobody should be rejoicing for this because the US, that is their main thing because they see all of these things happening and talking about drug relations and all these things. So
Yeah.
Jamaica should not be the one saying, "Oh, we're not going to do that right now," when the US is giving us money to help solve this problem. But that's just my
Um,
opinion.
Lorna says, Dr. D, all is well in my part of North Carolina. Some rain and wind, dry leaves blow off the tree. Tony says, we cannot forget observances and things. Sonia says, the ministers, millions watch on YouTube. They are fleecing the country. Um, Lorna says, that brother is bold, still don't know the law and the constitution of Jamaica. He lose every time he challenge it. So Sonia says, Honest is stash, okay. Speaks about some bank accounts.
I, oh, sorry. May I just want to be clear on one thing. I don't have any interest about the prime minister and how he gets his money or whatever. He does it anyhow he wants to do it. But I just believe in once there are laws and rules and structure that are in place, that it should be followed by everyone.
I agree. And however you want to make your money, that's really up to
Yeah,
you.
your business.
But you know, when you're in certain position, then it comes with certain responsibilities. And those kind of responsibilities are responsibilities to the people. And if there are laws, and the interesting thing about this is that I read where this particular act was brought into fruition by the prime minister and the current government in
Yeah,
2017,
it
right?
was.
Which means that it was already thought of whether or not this particular law was fundamentally wrong or unconstitutionally wrong. And if it weren't wrong in 2017, why is it wrong in 2019? I mean 2024? what, it's just 7 years.
What changed?
What changed? What is it in the law that changed that made this wrong? Because they would have gone through and made sure, because
They would have vetted it.
they would have vetted it. They would have vetted this thing to say that this was legal and constitutional. In today's day, you can't just throw anything on the books like that. It has to be, you put that against the Constitution. So if it is in fact unconstitutional, then why are we operating these things? And it's just a slap to me. And if I don't live in Jamaica, but if I were living in Jamaica and I see these things happening in front of me, I would be saying to myself, why is this, all of this just slapping me in my face like this? Everything that seemed right is wrong, and everything that's wrong is right. I just really.
Yeah, and just add on to what you're saying though, like all the people on this commission are well-learned people, like people who have been practicing for years, are very familiar with the laws. So I know these people are stickler for details. So it kind of odd that no, it's an issue. But I'm glad they're standing firm in their resolution to be like, we need the IC.
Oh, okay.
They have made statement, they're standing firm on their position, and they understand what they're to do. And I think that is good for Jamaica. But let's see how it plays out. I'm curious to see how it plays out.
Louis Buchanan said this is a Trumpian move. Jackie says, what is good for one should be good for all. We must follow the law. Claudette agrees. She says accountability, fairness, and transparency. What goes for one Jamaican goes for all. Jesse says our internet bad.
But
Sorry about that.
You can come it back again.
Diana, as a free citizen in the world and in Jamaica, you have the right to take your case to court. So I don't have a problem with the Prime Minister taking his case to court to fight, and he can throw as much things in there, and see whatever is going to stick. But I hope that he does. I hope that whatever happens is in the will of the people. Whatever comes out of this is in the best interest of the people of Jamaica. Because that is what, we live here in America, and it's like we live the rule of law. Whether you're white or purple, go ahead.
Yeah, but the fact he filed the case and say, and I like it's filed on behalf of the Jamaican citizens. It's filed for him in his personal interest. So it's his interest that he's looking out for at this point. Because when I bring one claim against the government, you bring a claim against the government, right?
Yeah, yes,
but this is in his personal capacity. He's offended and embarrassed, so he's trying to fix it. So it's for him.
But as I said, as a citizen, you can bring whatever it is.
Yeah.
Now the court is going to determine, because according to what my understanding is, when he's asking to make an application for a leave, you are putting your thing through a filter. So all of these things that he's asking is going to go to a judge or a couple of judges, and they're going to look to see if it's worth taking it to the review board. Because if it's then they'll just throw it out, and then that he will look at it. I mean, it's going to be up to him. It's going to be looking real bad if it gets thrown out.
Yeah, but I do want it to move forward in that, because it will bring clarification to me, I think, because there's a lot of questions floating around. So I think having it go to court would be a good thing, where it would, any ambiguity like people are having right now about it and the purpose, based on the court proceeding, it will be clarified, made clear, and put, for everybody to understand.
I think that, in my opinion, in my part, it would be clear if it's thrown out. Because then we saw what he comes with. We are going to see what the IC comes with, because the IC, the Inter-Technical Commission, is going to make a report just like he did to balance the scale. Now, if whatever the IC comes with versus what the Prime Minister had in there, and it invalidates what the Prime Minister, and we would have seen the clarity there.
That's what I said. That would be good. So the judges would review it, and then they independently would review, make a decision. We could see their reason behind it and the outcome of it. So it would be a great opportunity to bring clarification, because everybody confused. They don't even know what this IC is for. They don't know. It is very confusing. So we
Yeah,
see.
and
Oh, hold on there. We are talking a lot. We don't see Dr. there and I say nothing. I
I
wish
don't,
I live in a
I don't have a
Trinity.
problem with Diana not saying anything. She lived down there. I really don't have a problem with that. She like,
And I'm listening to you, and I think that the wider society really knows that the Integrity Commission was what it was created for. It was created to
Mm-hmm.
maintain order and equity, and to ensure that everything was on even keel with everybody. The government of Jamaica had to sign agreements on a global level that they would abide
Mm-hmm.
by certain agreed
Yeah.
principles, and in it is the declaration of unexplained wealth. And this
Mm-hmm.
is one of the things that the Integrity Commission is tasked with regulating for persons within the sector, not just government officials, but persons within
Yeah.
aspects of employment. So it's kind of weird for me to swallow. How do we get to a stage where else had to declare, somebody else had to comply with
Mm.
the Integrity Commission because it is the law of the land, it is an expectation. And then why would another individual or another group of individuals figure that they could be exempt from such treatment? But everybody come back and say accountability, fairness, and transparency. What goes for one goes for all. It's
Yeah.
the land,
Everybody.
law of the land. So me can't bother beat up my gum about it. Because at the end of the day, it's like Jamaica just on a frolic of its own. Today, you don't know what is going to be enforced versus what is not, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate because you don't know if it's going to be enforced against me, but not enforced against Leo.
Yeah.
Why not enforced
Because you're
against
a millionaire.
exactly, or why I have to deal with the consequences of not paying my traffic ticket when Leo can just whole apart
Yeah.
call the whole
Or
force to
call a
it.
friend.
Yes, call a friend or something. So
You
it
know?
probably is just a little bit
Yeah,
tiring.
too much. Yeah,
well,
too
Tiring.
much. And
well,
the fact is that, not to cut you off, it's like everything just blatant right now. You know, before, like, everything used to be like hush hush, you don't really know it's happening.
yeah.
It's like it just blatant, like nobody cares. Like, yeah, I did it, so what? You know, that's how the biggest slap in the face, really.
The other thing that kind of come out clear to me, there are three things that happened this week, right? One, we saw Deputy Prime Minister come out and make an announcement that they're not going to go any further prosecuting on what do you call it on something another wealth.
Hmm.
You got
Yeah,
it.
so that was like, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, what?
And
All of
then
a sudden,
and then we saw the Prime Minister suing the Integrity Commission for for all the things that he has declared. And then what came back full force and center to me that made me very uncomfortable was a few months ago there was an announcement of the PNP party leaders signed a code of ethics that was presented by the Integrity Commission, and no one in the government signed it.
Hmm.
So these are all ethical standards, things that will help us to guide our path so that people don't take advantage of us, right? You sign a code of ethics to say, I will not, I will, I will not, I will, that kind of thing, with all of the integrity and all of the other stuff, right? But you don't sign it. You're saying that I don't want to be held accountable, right? Then the prime minister suing that I don't want to be held accountable. And then the deputy prime minister says we are not going to prosecute people on
well,
yeah,
And
yeah.
I read the article. Let me read the article for those who didn't see it.
These are hold on, but these are serious things that affect our mind,
well,
my mind. You understand?
yeah, yeah, I get it. But to be fair, the prime minister is suing because he's embarrassed. That's what he said. So let's be
Prime
clear.
minister represent the country,
Yeah, but that's what he said though.
and this is
He's suing because he was embarrassed. Not because of accountability. He's saying he's embarrassed. So just remember that's what he said.
me not buy that. Guess why? Because once you get into office, this helm the top dog of the country, then you open yourself for that type of scrutiny.
It does.
So anyway.
It does. But the thing is that, but you see, all across the world, though, like even a lot of former prime ministers, presidents of even Caribbean islands are being prosecuted now and being convicted
Yeah,
for things
I
they
saw
have done.
somebody else.
So
Who
it's
was that?
like things are,
It
I
was
forgot which
one
country,
of those countries.
but even in other countries, like Latin countries, you see a lot of them now are being prosecuted. In Asian countries, you see a lot of them are being prosecuted for things they have done within their administration. So it's
Let me
like
pull that back.
time
Let me pull
coming.
that back because I may I should allow myself to say he's still an individual.
He is, that's what I'm saying, an individual capacity. So
I pull that back. I pull that
yeah,
back.
that's what I'm saying. He's doing it as an individual as to how it is attacked. He's not doing it on behalf of Jamaica.
Yeah, let me pull
So,
that back. I think that is fair for you to say and for me to understand that
yeah.
he is in fact an individual and
Mhm.
no matter what this is, right? It's going to impact him alone.
Yeah, and yeah, individual. Yes. So that's
And,
what he's looking at for.
and so I remember last year when the IC report came out about some illicit enrichment of 6 individuals, and now it's gone up to 8.
Yeah.
And it wasn't tabled, right?
Mhm.
How is it that this one got tabled?
Well, I guess it was the hand was forced because they really like the IC did just make the report. It's not like they can table it; they just put it there. So whoever the procedures went through, and that's why it was tabled. Because look how long it was held up. Make sure
this
like
one, no, this one is brand new. I'm saying why it wasn't, because I remember the deputy, the speaker of the house said that no, she will not table it and she's going to send it to an oversight committee. I don't remember that. And then we don't see it again. But this one is different, even though it's saying something about
that rough, that rough. Imagine the wife and his no say they come. But I think because remember they had a lot of issues on how to table stuff last year. So I guess they sort out the kink in that. So I guess that's why they just followed the
so therefore
procedure.
the other one is supposed to be released then.
Yeah, soon. I guess then they fix it. Just send it.
Yeah, that kind of hazy for me, but
Yeah, they may fix out the kink of it because they can't blame the opposition because they have no control over it. So, however, the procedure is set within Parliament to get it tabled how it was done.
it's a rough time for the Prime Minister. I must tell you, it's a really rough time, and there are times. So here goes. Let me take up for the Prime Minister right now. Right, there are times when if you're not a stickler for details, there are income and expenses that may come through and pass through your hand, and you don't even look at it, and you're not going to remember, right? And so to take it back 3 years ago, you probably won't be able to pick up something. And I went into my email the other day and found that between January 1 and May 31, 2022, I don't have any emails. And I said, where are they? I mean, I searched through the entire.
Oh, you never get the what they call it? Google like you pay money if you get storage. You never do that.
I did that. I did all of that, and it says that if it can't be found here in this, it's gone. How did I lose 5 months, 6 months of email? And they're important documents that are there, and I hope that it's not going to haunt me. But and so I'm just saying that 3 years have passed, and if you're not good at retaining documents, with being detailed, it can harm you.
It can harm you. But to be honest, and the true thing, remember the Prime Minister plus senior run these organizations, he has people that he delegates, although he's ultimately responsible, but he has people that he delegates to do these things that are going to run everything on a day-to-day basis. So he might not really on top of it as he should, so he don't really know what's happening, which you kind of fear if he's all over doing all these things, because he was
That's my
working on
point.
his degree.
Yeah,
So we can't really, but ultimately, his
he's responsible.
responsibility.
Yeah, yeah, I
So it
understand.
fall backs on him.
It's
But
and that's why I say
but
it's hard.
you
It's
have to
really
have a good team. You have to have a good team. Really have an interest at heart. So it not necessarily mean say that he did something wrong, but maybe
I,
who
I
handling
am
his
not saying
book
that he did either
did
because
something wrong.
right, yeah, yeah, because but then the reality is they are doing their job and it makes you look bad.
Yeah, bad.
Yeah,
So you can't really knock him because he must be with all these organizations that are suing. Like, yeah, maybe he sit on the committee, but you really like then come to him and say, "Oh, we're doing this," and he say, "Okay," you don't necessarily have the time. So you know, I mean, saying corrupt, but maybe what under him messed up.
and the reality is that nobody else can help him.
Yeah.
Right? You probably find people backing off rather than coming forward because they don't want to be a part of this and stuff. But
Yeah, because I don't really see a lot of people speaking up though, other than the people saying I'm with him, which was a funny part. Like they were doing, but I just saw the video where
what?
the MPs were saying like we are with the prime minister, whatever,
Hmm.
and then
Oh, they're all taking a different piece of
yeah,
okay.
but Pernell Charles' daughter was always aloof. Like in the part of it, she said, "Oh, and I gave out like should I give out the water tanks?" Everybody like,
Oh,
what
okay.
about you see the video?
Yeah.
Everybody like,
But
what you talking about water tank? And everybody said, we're with the prime minister. So that was
whatever
funny.
comes through on this, as I said, I hope it's best for the people because and I wish him all the best. I really do wish him all the best
Yeah,
there.
this is not good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen it in another country's paper recently this week.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah,
That's not
and
good.
so that's not good. But I also I'm really concerned about him because this is going to
Yeah, and it not only impact him, but his family too. And the thing is that whatever he does, if it come out like it's not really that good, all he has done in his time as prime minister working through will be overshadowed by this one thing. Because great example is Bruce Golding's Bruce Golding. All I do, we don't really remember all I do. We only remember they do those incident.
right.
You know what I mean? So it
Right.
overshadowed everything. Cause we
And
can't remember anything he do, and it was good.
he was good.
Yeah. So
We have a lot of a lot of communication. You want to read
yeah.
them? You have them?
I'm gonna name my glasses, but let me.
I can read them for you. I can read them. Okay.
Okay.
So
Does disappear? So
Sonia Patricia, the minister, a million watch on YouTube. They are fleeced. Okay, we got that already. That brother is bold, still don't know the law. Well, we got that one already. Um, Holness is stashing Usain Bolt's money. I don't know about that. This is Trump's move, a Trumpian move. What is it? What is for one should be good for all. Accountability, fairness, and transparency. What goes for one, Jamaica goes for all. And Jesse says, my internet is bad. I think that's where we left. Randolph Riley, do you have any family here, sir, Jamaican or Jamaican, wherever they are, maybe affect us all? I have a lot of family there. It must not throw out, I'm sorry, I'm not understanding this. It must not been thrown out same night.
oh, I guess it must not be thrown out when we talk about the case.
Case, help me understand that.
Oh, like when we were talking about the Andrew suing.
Same
Yeah.
night that stick goat must stick
Yeah.
sheep. Stop being in
In
denial. Who is in denial? And understand.
that's
Are
an opinion.
corruption become normal to all? All right, Mark Hayes says, wasn't the Prime Minister on an official trip to India this week? Like that because it's great for us to have
Yeah.
partners. Yes, Prime Minister must remember that Jamaica is not owned by him. God. Laura Blackwood says, hold your peace if you live next door to the PM. People want laws strike down to protect their unlawful behavior. Embarrassment is not a reason to sue. I agree. I guess that's what I was. That was my position, right? It's not a reason to, but I also understand the human effect there too, right? A good point there, Lorna. Lorraine Dunkley, and then Albert Stewart says the PM authorized the legislation and gave it a group of people. They use it because of what authority the government gave them. So why blame them now? And then Faith Graham says, Michelle, please repeat what you said about the water tank.
No, it was just an ad that the ministers of parliament were doing, where they were saying they were in support, like they support the prime minister during this time. And then Colonel Charles' daughter, what's her name? I keep
Michelle.
like oh yeah, Michelle. I remember that. Well, like everybody was saying they were in support of the prime minister. I don't know if she didn't realize what was being done. And she was like, "Oh, we give a water tank this week." And everybody was like, "What's that coming?"
That's different. That's a different thought, right?
Yeah. So maybe she missed the memo.
So maybe she's saying, I don't support the prime minister.
That's what I think. Maybe she missed the memo.
I draw a red herring across it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, to be honest with you guys, this is a very tough topic, and I think we, in the way that I started the show is where I don't feel comfortable talking about some things. I can talk about America all day long. I can talk about Trump all day long. I promise not to speak anything more about Trump because I don't think that I need to listen to him anymore, because then he can't change my vote anymore because of what's going on. But I can talk about everything and anything that the public officers in this country do. I have a right to, and I can speak on it. I don't feel the same that when I have to talk about Jamaica, and this is why this topic is a very tough one to talk about.
Before I left, I just had to go take care of something local. Um, there's an article that predated all of this discussion, or this declaration by the Prime Minister to sue. And it was an article, a declaration made by the Minister of National Security. It's dated October 1. Government drops unexplained wealth orders as an anti-monetary laundering priority. The Holness administration says it won't prioritize unexplained wealth orders, citing constitutional concerns and existing laws that it says are strong enough to address individuals with suspicious sources of wealth.
If it were strong enough, why did they come up with it in the first place?
Exactly, and they were getting people for so long under it. Really,
Yeah. I don't get that about it.
I would love to know the reasoning behind
Clear
it.
for the purpose of the audience. And an unexplained wealth order is a court directive that allows law enforcement to confiscate assets from individuals who cannot demonstrate their wealth was obtained legally. I just want to put things in perspective for persons who are there. So there's this declaration, there's an agreement, there are documentations that have been signed in past. There's a reiteration of it up to 2023 by the Governor General in his throne speech in Parliament. And then in October this year, as at the end of September, the Minister on National Security unilaterally declares, hey, we're not going to bother pursue this. But no, an unexplained wealth order is a court directive that allows law enforcement to confiscate assets from individuals who cannot demonstrate their wealth was
Let's give us an example here. For a person who's considered a scammer.
Yes.
It doesn't work.
Then take away the car and then take away a house and the house where my mother name to and all of that and sell
everything, okay? Because them now work and them not have no way of explaining
Well,
how it is, right? But there are other ways. There are the people who are working as a security guard, right? And then him own big house, drive Lamborghini and stuff, or even a police officer making whatever he's making, and then all of a sudden him have a whole heap of money and a whole heap of land, and those are that's what they're talking about.
Right. So that's the unexplained wealth. And I'm going to continue with the article. It says, we haven't chosen to abandon UWO, but we don't think it's one that we need to pursue aggressively at this point when we have several things on the agenda. And he said that, that's a quote, when he was on Radio Jamaica's Beyond the Headlines on Monday. Over the last 2 years, Chung has made clear that the unexplained wealth orders were a key tool in the anti money laundering fight. In April 23 sectoral debate, he told Parliament that amendments to the Proceeds of Crime Act include UAW unexplained wealth orders were on the road all year. Just so and I leave it there.
Well, you know what? For those who were being persecuted under this rule, you know what I would do? I would go
Yes,
get my lawyer and get back my money.
Because if there's no law,
Exactly.
then you cannot put me in jail.
So
That means
go get back your money.
America cannot come down and come tell us that, oh, you scam us. You cannot, America cannot come there and come take people. Just take people because they have more money than them. Yeah, you can't do that because there's no law. I would go to court.
Well, they can still technically do this scamming, you know. 'Cause remember, say you have things that you do that shows that you're scamming.
Yeah,
But in regards to just saying, I'm going to go after you because you have this house and you have this money, they can't do it anymore.
apart
But
of
if
the
you have
evidence,
things
well,
that,
I suppose they can do it. They're simply saying that it's not a priority. So if it's not a priority, then it's not going to be enforced.
exactly,
There's no need to use it as the first course
So,
of action.
so
Um,
now the hide again.
yes.
Little large.
All right.
Dial that bar.
listen,
It says
Loss.
let me
not
take
a difficult matter.
care of this guy here. There's a guy writing about Jamaica 411.
What's 411?
Listen, if you don't want to be on the show, come off.
All right, let's put it this way for Dennis.
What's
it says-
411?
I don't know. Apparently 411 have a station that he want to promote here,
Yes.
and he's coming without views.
Oh,
But we're happy
for
to
me.
have Dennis Morgan. Why don't you share our show on yours so that they will have some real diversity?
Okay, so
So let's
Morgan,
take it that way.
if you don't feel comfortable on the show, please just pop off. You don't have to tell people to come to your show.
Oh,
Okay?
that's why I must say, 411 have the correct info.
Yeah. All right. So,
But I
I
guess it should be clear. These are just our opinions on topics that
we are doing. We are
our opinion based on what's happening in
talking
current
like
affairs in Jamaica.
normal Jamaicans,
So
right?
yeah, so that is our truth. I don't know.
Leave him to the lawyer, the Miss Mr. Leo. Let the lawyer take him.
Thank you very much.
But Dennis, we're happy to have you. Never mind all of that here, my dear. You just stream our thing on yours and you'll be good. It will give you some more traction. Mark A says, I know the intent of this unexplained wealth order, but it can be abused. It needs oversight. And we're not saying no to that, but the oversight is the courts. You're going to provide another oversight for the court and then another oversight and another oversight on top of it. We have to trust someplace.
Yeah.
You
Like,
know.
if you didn't do anything wrong, you have nothing to worry about.
I
Yeah.
don't worry about where we get my dresser from.
Yeah, exactly.
Where we get cheered from.
Rich and
But-
chair and table and plate and rum and all anything there, right?
But correct me
Mm.
if I'm wrong. I'm not sure. My mother isn't here. But I thought even for teachers, they had to do a declaration.
Yeah, man.
also.
We have to make due
But she had to do it.
time.
Yeah,
We
because
can't confuse the
anything.
issue. We can't confuse the issue, though. You know. A declaration is different from unexplained.
No, I'm not talking about what I'm talking in regard to the IC,
But it
like
is- but it-
regular
but it is-
citizens. Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to
the
declare
declaration
it.
that leads to the unexplained wealth. In some instances, it's just your lifestyle that they.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's it. But if at the end of the year, if you work with certain government, that's what I'm asking, because I remember my mom had to do it,
Yeah.
where she had to keep receipts and if she do mileage in her car and all of that, where she
Right.
had to do a report. Because I remember when she was retiring, they said that, oh yeah, you went overpaid for this and whatever. So
Yeah,
she
but-
had to let them take all that money out before
Mm,
she would get her money.
her
So I'm
payment.
saying if regular people had to do it, like you have to, like dot all your I's and T's, why these people that in upper position think they're not required to? If the little man have to do it,
So
or they have to
Marquez
force to
said,
pay it back.
I'm sorry, Michelle. I'm very sorry.
It doesn't upon this wealth law. You have money they hide,
I
Leon.
do what you
What,
turn.
what, what is
Just
bothering
get
you?
off it. Now the truth is that I've had enough of it and think that we cannot move off. It's more than an hour.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, I truly.
Well,
not
it's a major issue.
It is a major issue, and I
Okay.
think we have talked our positions on it. We have shared on it, and this is about having some diversity.
Oh,
So
thank you, Mr. Sutherland.
Me
On
not
another
like the
topic,
music. No, no, no,
he
no, no.
said,
Me not
Michelle will like the new look. Great morning, all. So this is a segue to the new topic.
exactly. Thank you very much, Sutherland TV. Wait, so it's not. So all of them just come here, make him go on. The one Sutherland him.
So let me just reiterate something that Michelle just said a while ago, because I want everybody to know. All right, we are not a news producer or news creating show. We look at the news and we give our opinions. A lot of times we disagree. A lot of
Yeah.
times we disagree, and sometimes me not like Michelle, and sometimes me not like Diana.
And it's fine.
And it's absolutely fine. Sometimes when we come up on the show, sometimes we come up on the show, we
When
cuss
I
on
chat to
the
Leo,
yeah, we cuss. But
in a malice.
the thing is,
Yeah, benefit.
we are just sharing how we feel and what our thoughts are and our experiences are relate to the topics of the day, right? We're not creating a topic. We just talk about what is already out there. And so if you want 411, go somewhere else. This is not
Oh,
it.
just give me some attraction. Leave for one.
No,
Mr. Morgan.
I'm
Mr.
not
Like you
I'm
look
not
it in all this one Sutherland. Lorna says we do not live in a lawless society. Laws must be followed. We need checks and balance. Here.
Exactly.
The one Polly share they would laugh. When she sit on the road, I hope I not drive, she drive and I text and I smile up herself. But guys, there are other things we looked a little bit about this emancipation, independence. Which are the days you prefer as your favorite holiday, the independence or the
so
emancipation?
cold. Dana, you're such a cold woman. My God. Look how we are talking a sweet and I have so much passion about a particular topic. And you just drop it like, oh, it never mattered.
Hot
Jesus,
potato.
hot potato.
What holiday do I like?
Which holiday do you prefer?
Emancipation or independence?
Yes, and why you prefer whichever one you prefer.
I guess it's just the same to me. It's a day.
It's a holiday.
Holiday for you. I prefer independence, but
Yes.
I have the utmost respect for emancipation. I believe in emancipation. I believe in freedom. I believe in people's rights, and we cannot and should not forget people's rights.
Yeah. And I think, one of the big issues you said, like, that's a strong point. I think the big issue is that, like how I, with my generation, is that, oh, it's just a day. It's because people are not reiterating the importance of those days.
Absolutely.
Because now it's boiled down to, like, I guess that's why the business people think they could get away with
Yeah,
it.
just get away with
It
it.
is just a holiday where you go party,
Party.
eat, and
Yeah.
out. It's not where you look at the significance of the day, like what happens. And if people remember their roots and who fought and to give us these rights, they maybe would understand why it's important to be more vocal and when people are trying to take away or abridge these rights from us. So yes, we need to go back to educating the younger people about the importance of these days. Because it's really just, as I say, a day for sale, day for party, day is like just that. Anybody highlight what really happened? Like locally, you might see somebody communities them do something, or like they do the big thing at Kingston. But the importance of it has been gone. So yeah, we need to get back to teaching and letting people understand why emancipation is important and why independence is important. Well, I can maybe educate me on the important. Like I don't know, but like a lot of
I
people
don't think so. I don't think so, Michelle. I don't think so.
Is it a party day?
maybe you'll get it. Maybe
Well,
you'll get it.
my
Yeah.
turn now. My turn now. I love the emancipation, and I think I much prefer it. It came along. The celebration of it was not introduced until sometime during my days,
Yeah.
so it
19.
wasn't always there. Um, but I enjoy the symbolism of what it is, and I enjoy the fits that go with it because it's
Yeah.
more historic than it is a party. I like where they have the watch night things where on the 31st you spend the whole night waiting up for with hot chocolate tea and all kind of things Jamaican, and that is the party that I enjoy, and the Jamaican
Yeah.
culture is in full celebration. So I enjoy that. That leads into the August morning.
Oh,
And then
oh,
huh?
oh my! No, no, no. I'm saying I'm in here. I'm liking what you're
Yes.
saying.
So July
Yeah.
July 31st is a major celebration from the evening right through to 12 o'clock when August morn. So that is really what is August morning, August 1. In Barbados,
Exactly.
they have
So let,
long
so let
celebrated
me
it.
tell you
To
what.
get crop over and all that. Like we
Yes.
do need to bring that back, to be honest. 'Cause I remember when I used to do the like what the thing where you have like they do like it's a thing where you just do like they do this XX thing with the cord and like you
Mhm.
dance and do other
Yeah.
thing for sure.
So that's
Back.
celebration.
Yeah,
Let
but
me
it's
tell you what
for
comes to my mind when I think about emancipation. It's completely different from what you guys talking about. When I say I respect emancipation, right? Me prefer independence because it's celebratory, right? But emancipation is different from abolition of slavery. Abolition took place first.
No, no, no.
And
It's
there, hold on,
not.
hold on. Yeah, let me tell you what goes through my mind. I don't do the celebration of emancipation because it's important to me. When they abolish slavery, it means that the politicism, the business of slavery died. Means that they can't do the triangular voyage anymore. They can't go pick up slavery and go sell anymore. They can't make money out the big business. The one percenters could not make money off it anymore. However, slavery still existed. People were still being enslaved until the Emancipation Day when people now become free. Each individual enslaved person became free, not just the business of slavery, but the person himself become free. And it's still named free in America because in up to 1965, after slavery abolished, after emancipation, 1865 or wherever it was, them still employed what is called Jim Crow laws in America that was worse than slavery. This was a personal attack on individuals and their rights. They didn't consider them to be equal to white people. So I
yeah.
understand the celebration, but the reason I say I respect emancipation is because on that day is when we feel mentally and physically emancipated from the white power. That's what it means. Celebration of independence is different because that's when we become jubilant about being free as a country, not as a, necessarily as a people, as a country, and we as a country can do our own thing. That's the difference for me. I want to can comment though.
Watch it. Also, we want to say nothing after that. Don't tell when it we are emancipated. We don't have to say anything. There's a lot of comments though.
All right, let's read them. Let's read them.
That's what they hear we.
No, she's stuck. She freeze.
That's what Diana.
Yeah.
You were distracted.
Yeah. I was looking at an article about shooting in Mandeville.
Oh yeah, that was sad.
Yeah, so sad. Ooh.
All right, so Mark.
And he said, just giving your perspectives, Marquez says Jamaica could have done without independence, in my opinion.
Oh,
What has it brought us? We can talk about that. Says Emancipation Day is for me. Lorna says, shooting in Mandover Market, a former student and my sister was killed. Criminals migrated to Manchester. We're sorry to hear. Condolences to your sister. Mandover will touch one, all touch. Faith says, Emancipation is real, and our ancestors fought for it. It is only one day, and it's a serious turning point in our history as Black people, not a time to party. Independence, however, was political and kind of elusive in a real way to this day. However, she loves Grand Gala, so she loves to watch it or go to it. Faith, thanks so much for putting that into
Yeah,
perspective.
perspective. That's a really good point. Really,
Yes,
I
no,
like that.
emancipation is real, and our ancestors fought for it. It is only one day, and it is a serious turning point in our history as Black people, not
That is
a
true.
time to party.
Yeah.
Love that, Faith. Can make it into a t-shirt. I will post that for next time round. Um, Albert him love maple. That's all he look for.
Yeah,
Forgot
So I
that.
guess how many talk about
that's
things
what
I didn't say.
I couldn't remember what it was either.
That him
Yeah,
too.
I couldn't remember.
Faith says abolition was a scam initially, or people had nothing and nowhere to go. The whole abolition of slavery. Faith,
Absolutely.
you should have start teach. Why you not start teach? Every day we are trying to encourage you to teach and you won't teach. Educators Leo says the one Jennifer, yes, United Church. Jesse, share laugh. Lorna says Emancipation Day is a day of reflection. Independence Day should be a day to celebrate. I like that. I
Absolutely.
like
But
that.
somebody asked a critical question: what has it done for? What has independence done for us? That's a great question, and it depends on who you talk to. They'll have different answers. What's your thought, Diana?
What has independence done for us?
Yeah,
It has set us apart. We have our own flag. We know we can have our own competitive team at Olympics. Um, we can name people
yeah,
in
that too.
funeral and celebration. I mean, I tell you what I do for we. Don't know that I can celebrate that in the gap of the 60 odd years of independence, that if I look in the history books, there's any growth, any significant economic growth of people or society. The sense of independence and the ability to make some decisions for ourselves, I suppose we celebrate that.
Michelle.
Well, the more as you get older, you realize that are we really independent?
That's
Were
it.
we really given independence on that day? I
Woo!
don't think so, because most of our laws are still grounded in the crown. Like everything you see, how everything is structured in Jamaica is still structured under the crown. Have we fully moved away from it? No. So how are we independent? I don't know, because we have a flag. Can they give us permission to create a flag?
And listen,
I have to
are you
think
are you
about it.
hitting at Diana? You can't do that on the show.
No,
You
no,
can't
but
do
that's
that
not,
on the show.
no,
No,
but that's not no.
that me love me Diana. You cannot hit at Diana on the show.
I
Okay?
am
No,
not
but
offended. Talk truth here, Michelle. Talk truth.
no, but that's not really what I think about. Because when you
Yes,
think of it, are we
yes,
really independent as a country?
yes.
You know what I mean? Are we? Are we ever gonna get there? We're not truly independent, if you think of it.
What do you think,
Are we
Leo?
ever gonna get there?
Um, I don't think independence is a one shot done.
Yeah.
Independence can be whatever it is that we want it to be, right?
Hmm.
Um, the 1962 event was a step in the right direction
Yeah.
because today it's showing us why 1962 was necessary. That means you see women are are much more um, celebrated as leaders. That wasn't happening before. You see women making equal amount of money as men. Women are attorneys. Women are accountants. Once upon a time, women were before 1962. Women just were supposed to be in the house, and so what independence has done, it has taught us that no what 1962 has done, it has taught us how to at least move away from it taught us how to move away from colonial. We're not there yet, but it has taught us certain things about moving away from the colonialistic views so that we can now start growing. And we have grown. We have grown because now I don't have to worry about my child getting a good education. Once upon a time before 1962, only white people or red people get education in Jamaica. So now we are able to allow everybody to go to high school. Remember, just after 1962, I was still going to a secondary school. Me personally was going to not a traditional high school, because traditional high schools were only meant for those people. Remember, after we had Michael Manley, who
But
who
that's not
made,
independence. So you're gone
hold
back
on,
too far now.
no. But if you remember what I said, it allowed us to start thinking independently. We had Michael Manley who leveled the playing field and gave us some independence, gave us some opportunities that were not available even up to 1971. Because up to 1971, we're still thinking that we're in 1960. And so what I'm saying to you is that we may not be totally independent, but what 1962 did for us, it opened up avenues for us to start thinking independent. That's it.
All right. Faith says, ask the Gigi what independence do for us. Well, it give him a position to sit down up at King's House and collect piss
I
pot
don't,
a load of money and do
yeah,
skuffle. That's what it does for him.
I don't
That's
need, we don't need a GG.
Marquez says, like I said, independence was a joke. We should have gone for British protectorate status. It was a silly move, he thinks. And Mark, we don't agree with you that it was a silly move. Um it was a
The
bold move.
intention was good, but it's
Yes, it
just
was
that
a
we not
bold move.
accomplished much.
We didn't
But
plan it
it
in
totally,
good time, but it was good. It's a good move to me.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you would look at the US. The US had to go through that independence phase as well. They went through it eons before us in this territory because we had been so dependent on the region, France
Yeah.
in some instances, or some still remain that. Um, Marquez says, Leo, civil rights and women's liberation have nothing to do with independence status. I want to agree with Mark on that. That those things would have come because if you had still remained with the British as a under the
Women's
British,
I'm gonna
suffrage
bring
when they
those
happen.
are things that would still
nah, sir.
that would come to us. Whether or not it would come to us
All right.
with such in such a timely manner is something that we could argue about, Mark. Albert says, we have taken civics out of school, so our young people, majority,
It's going
don't look at those special days with meaning.
it's going back.
He's commending you, Leo,
Yeah.
for being a historian.
Mm.
Yeah,
Search
but
wake up or come from gym. Uh-huh.
yeah, so well, on the top, like even like when it's compared to the US, at least the US to me, like Jamaica was a rush. They wanted independence. But I'm thinking it was it more beneficial to the crown to get rid of Jamaica and all these territories because it was a bleed to them financially. I don't know. But it was kind of rushed where it wasn't thoroughly thought out. And then Jamaica stayed in a limbo where they kept certain things and laws in place. Like even now they still don't make any sense. And Jamaica still not taking the full time to revise these laws to make it adjustable, amendable to Jamaica, how Jamaica is. So to me, it's been lazy throughout the years where these things are not addressed. Why to me, we have not fully gotten our independence. Yes, at this point, we're trying to move away from the crown, but it's still like you really have to put in the work to get it done so there are no mistakes. So that's what I think.
I think we're gonna get there. I
It
think
got take time.
yeah,
It take too long.
everything takes time. When we are 60 years old, America is 300 years old. Huh? So the thing is, everything takes time. As I just said to you a while ago, right? Only only 50 years ago, America allowed black women to vote in this country. Only 50 years ago. 60 years is really a drop in the bucket of the age of a country. And we're
Yeah,
gonna
but
get there because
when you
people,
talk about
They-
just woman their fault, you know what I miss? Woman couldn't even get one credit card without their husband
that's
a
my
couple
point.
of decades ago.
It's the
Like
same
we
thing.
were shackles, like we couldn't do
You
nothing.
cannot separate.
But
let me tell you, listen, a good thing God make all me born around so because let me tell you,
You
know that
wouldn't do
this
nothing.
man look like such a joke.
You
For
wouldn't
I
do
forgot
nothing.
Michelle no, God no when make people born in a certain era. You can imagine you're gonna tell me say me must stay out there, so me must do this, me must do that, and me
You
can't vote
would.
need my husband to go sign up for give me credit card and all of them. So that
Yes, you would.
read it.
You, Diana, I'm telling you, the mode of the day, the modus operandi for women in those days was to be subservient to their men.
And let me tell you, you hear what me tell you?
You
On
just
that very same premise, I'm saying to you, God know why me born when me born. And when me born round in a them the time there.
yeah.
Because me wouldn't last long as a wife or a woman that don't chat me up and bun me at the stake.
Probably, probably.
And then when you have a little funeral for me.
And you wouldn't have been worth a dime today to us with the quality of discussions that we have on the show with you. I would be sad to know that you're not existing. I'm telling you. But
Yeah, I said, remember Miss Lady so and so daughter Diana? Yes, them born already. Yeah, man. Last week. She
it
wanna
is
go
the
there with the credit card. She said, "Can go."
yeah.
Um,
I think, and this is why I am upset with these 1%ers who want to take independence and put it now.
emancipation.
I
You're
have
right.
a problem with it because there's so much things that we need to learn from in
Yes.
those days so that we can springboard into goodness and then once take that into their economy. I have a problem with that.
No bother quarrel again, Leo. Let me read them. Let me read them. Quick
Oh,
before you quarrel. Johnny says, just getting back. I missed a lot. And she says, Dr. Diana, the US became a republic after they gained independence. That is another conversation, Johnny, this republic thing. And the one, so that Anima say, Amen to Mark. Mark says, Amen, Michelle. It takes a lot to create and run a country. Yes. Faith says independence need more than 65 years for true. She agree with her with you, Leo. Sutherland said independence was a little bit premature in my
It
opinion.
was.
We were not ready at the time. Karen Rose, she just a come. You know, good morning, everyone. She not apologize now, no, with her beer for yourself, but good morning. Faith I said, haha, Diana, and the credit card.
uh, so listen, who said it was premature? So let me tell you about life.
mm,
Me not think say my mother and father.
Sutherland TV.
Me not think say my mother and father had planned for me, right? Me not
It
think
was premature.
they think say them never plan at all. I know who the boy for without being planned for, right?
Speak
But
for yourself, Leo, about your own plan for and stop talk about your mother and your father business. Oh, you must know, say you never plan for.
Exactly.
I don't like when I hear these conversations of
I don't.
people talking
My
about their
father
children and was an
never
accident.
want, no, I can tell you straight off. My father never want another boy. So to me, I have no problem with that, saying that. Okay, so I'm saying to you, there was a lot of us in Jamaica and around the world were not planned for, but we still make life worth living. And so even though the Jamaican government at the time did not plan properly for independence, the timing was right. Now we just have to grow from it and do the things that right for the
Perhaps that's the right time would perhaps never present itself, and you just have to chuck off and swim or something.
yeah, have the
But
big
but my thing is that yeah, you chuck off, right? You take the opportunity, but then it's like everything just stand still. Like say you have something in place and you have a plan and say, all right, this we're gonna go achieve this. We're gonna work on this to make it better. Nothing like it's like nothing happened.
we had to get rid of
No,
colonialism.
but I agree. That's why I said, yeah, it's good they did it.
Yes.
But it's like we're in limbo at this point where it didn't occur to them that we need to take the additional step to adjust it for Jamaica climate, Jamaica people.
Exactly.
Everything stayed in limbo. But I know they're trying to do it, but them are try rush it. So it's kind of like we're gonna be, like they
I
need to
think
fix it.
I think where we don't have a fix per se as Jamaica is the political interferences and interpretations and variations of what independence
Yeah,
be. If there was a vision that everybody, let us say we had a
agreed on.
referendum and everybody bought into this concept that independent Jamaica, in order to attain A, B, C, or D, these are the things that we'll have to do for the next 10 years. Let us pick something like education system. This is what the education system is
Yeah.
going to look like These are the revamps for the next 20 years. And we buy into it collectively and it is enforced and maintained. Then we're going to see some growth. But if every cycle that there's an election, there is an amendment and an adjustment, or with every change within the election of the ministers that manages these departments that don't even have no qualification themselves relevant to the place, if we have that, continue to have that operation, we're going to be chasing our tails.
Exactly.
Chasing our tails.
Yeah, and yeah, that's it, right. They need to do something. So
I
that's why
don't
the other day I was wondering, not to cut you off, Leo, like with the governor general, because I was like, what really is his position? Come, like for me, like these things to get one united goal for Jamaica, that would be something that he could work on. Like even though like you're changing the different political parties, but there's something, as you said, like set out plan for 20, 30 years that Jamaica going to achieve. So he would be the one to help keep it on track to get it done. We're not like, oh, we go throw it aside and do this and edit, and then we achieve nothing. That's why I'm like, what is really is his position in regards to Jamaica?
Yeah, we don't
Like,
have those leaders anymore who think Jamaica first and people first. We have mostly leaders up there right now that think about themselves.
they call it embarrass, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So it kind of like,
Look at how it says to have and
Michelle, that's what is called low blow. Okay, that is what is called real below the belt. Okay,
let me tell you, that one they make you bend over.
yeah, man. Yeah.
Um,
But let me tell you something about Jamaica. Why I love Jamaica and why I
Yeah,
love.
hold your thought. Don't forget it.
Okay.
Kate says we don't have a blueprint. Mark says the main proof that Jamaica independence was a bad card. Cayman Islands, Bermuda, Puerto Rico all have an economy. Puerto Rican. The currency issue is the biggest problem. Those places don't have to defend their own currency. Joni says there are far too many examples to emulate for Jamaica to still be in limbo about being a republic or just being fully independent. No, GG.
Okay.
But back up a little bit, Karen did say that I'm so sorry to be late, Diana, and she apologized with tears, and
Why
then
are
she
you apologizing to Diana alone? Why Diana alone?
then
I'm offended too that you're
Yeah,
late.
why Diana alone? Why?
Faith dead with laugh with the embarrassed part. Johnny says, replying to Marky, Puerto Rico is not independent, right? I was going to say that. It is a colony of the
Yeah.
USA. Yes. Go ahead, Leo. You forget your point?
Oh, no, man, I want
Medicine this morning, man. Go on, Leo.
Okay, so the argument about Jamaica not being where it's supposed to be as an independent country, there's Jamaica has assets that many other countries never had. And the only reason why we are there is, to me, because we gain that mental status that we are independent. All right. I remember, if you guys know anything about Finland, and I was in a conversation yesterday and it reminded me, right? Finland, the education system is an adoption of the Jamaican education system, but Finland spend a lot of money on their education system to make sure that all of their people are educated. Let's look at Jamaica. Jamaica's assets of education doesn't lie in academics alone. Jamaica's assets in athletics, Jamaica's assets in the food, Jamaica's assets in music, Jamaica's assets in the work, the hard work of the people wherever they go over the world. People know who a Jamaican is and want them to work for them. The assets that Jamaica has provided.
That's a one time. That's a one.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Jamaica has so much major assets. As a small country, stands in the biggest, the major arenas across the world, and they are listened to from the 1960s. So the importance of independence don't lie in academics alone. Our richness is in our culture and our heritage and what we put forth on the table that we are proud of every day. That's what Jamaica has gained over the years. Not just academics, not just the governor generals, who I agree, I don't need a governor general because I mean nothing and all of this foray of things that's going on now. You should be in the middle of it to calm things down and you're not doing anything. So I agree with you. But no, Jamaica the music. Jamaica the only country that produce music that its own a feet own music. Who else can do that and impact the world the way that it has. So no,
Okay.
you don't agree with them.
I agree with what? When
We
you
not
talk,
good
it
with
kind
the
of
what
like how
though.
I'm passionate.
Understand?
It's coming kind of get
But,
lost. Like you cuss me out. I
but,
don't know where you cuss you
but
out
I
for.
want to make the cuss out a while ago.
Yeah, cuss you for. We agree with you. Say yeah, Jamaica very influential all over the world. Yeah,
Yes,
we
we
have
agree
one of
with
the best education system because yes, to be honest, it's sad Jamaica is doing bad academically because as you know, the teachers they export them, they go all over, they make counties be top counties, they make school be top school. We have the best educators. And why not showing at Jamaica? Like where are they living? Music wise, yeah, we have our music. People write our music, they make money from our music. With our athletes, top athletes, we don't have the best equipment, we don't have the best much, but we are top athletes, yeah. But why, although we could show this to the world and go to the world, Finland copy we, why can't Jamaica use the same thing to make Jamaica better?
Because we are
Like,
emperor.
because we
why?
don't have the blueprint as
Our
Faith said,
mentality, the
the mentality
mentality.
of those who
That's
we
what I need to work on.
lead,
The
the leadership.
mentality. Yeah.
Um,
Maybe we should have instead of elected officials, appointed officials, right? Maybe that's what
yes,
it
yes, I agree with that.
yeah. And then that will probably for a while take out the guessing game about who you need to be a leader there. And maybe we can make it appointment for 10 years, and then we go back to elected officials.
Yeah, but I think one of the major ingredients, not even appointed though, like I really think that this is just my opinion. When we have the ministers, like the MPs, I don't think that they should be necessarily the one leading ministries.
Ministries.
I
No,
think
we
ministries
don't
should
need
be
us
led
expert.
exactly expert in that field. If you're in
Yes.
agriculture, you are expert in agriculture. So you're kind of up to date on what is needed in agriculture and how to improve agriculture. Education, you have to have somebody that's an expert in it so they could
That's
give
what I'm
ideas and bring it forward. So to me, an MP should be focused on their community and community development and like what their community need. But they should not be sitting on the ministries. That would help Jamaica a lot
And the
to
MP,
me.
Michelle, must be the member of parliament,
Parliament,
not
yeah,
the political representative
yeah.
in the constituency. They have to make that distinction.
but
That
I don't understand that.
uh-huh.
I don't understand. Are you saying that the MP should be responsible for a constituency, but then the minister, then they should not be
No,
minister?
no, no,
I
no,
don't
no.
understand the difference.
Let me say exactly what I'm agreed with Michelle that the MP must be responsible for their constitution,
Constituency.
for the constituency.
Yeah.
One, but that also, though the election is gets somebody into my region who is a Jamaica Labour Party representative, that person after the election is representing everybody within the
Oh,
constituency
okay.
Yeah,
and not a political representative,
Okay.
because
that is
that's
true.
where the foolishness overtakes us. Because I am Labour now, I don't have no life because it's a PMP era I'm in, or vice versa.
Yeah, that
They
is
must
true.
look after the entire thing. Then you will see growth. I can't be driving my way to work and part of the road fix and smooth like baby batty, and
Yeah,
then
I know where you go.
rough and favor somebody. No, it cannot be.
Let me
They
ask
recognize that
Michelle.
political.
Michelle, you just say off.
Oh, sorry. When I get interested in a conversation, I'm listening. I
Off.
actively
We're gonna
listen.
enjoy ourselves.
Exactly, I have to
Right,
actively listen, so that's how we move around. Cause when I want to cuss me out a while ago, me take it personal, I'm embarrassed, so me kind of have to listen, like we figure out what you cuss about. Like literally, me like, what is he going off of? Is
yes,
he
I
talking
don't know
about
either.
independence? Is he cursing women? Is he cursing athletes? Like, what is he doing? So
You can take
yeah,
him.
so that exactly. So me have to catch up to really understand.
Hui. Let me catch up again. Joni says, replying to Mark, Puerto Rico is not, it's a colony. She says, you may need to revise your examples, are some are colonial protectorates and not independent. Independence, make we draw a bad card. Thanks for those words, says Mark. Um, Joni says, also, Leo, Jamaica decided to go backward by adopting the USA educational system and abandon their once competitive platform in the world. Jesse Smith says, "You are right, Mr. Leo, I'm giving you a clap." Juliet rather says, Jamaican education is top notch, with that to emphasize.
That's
Johnny says,
true.
"Also, Michelle, we need to invest in ourselves and believe in ourselves." Karen says, "Jamaica, we are the best." Me agree, Leo, she says. Johnny says, "All experts should also be fully vetted.
True.
MPs should be wholly accountable." And Johnny says that they need some more oversight
They
committees.
do.
um, Joni, I know Puerto Rico is the US. That is my point. I'm not small. I'm not for small countries being independent.
Okay, I got your
Okay, so
point.
he wasn't citing them as examples of independent nations, but nations who have remained dependent on their colonizers.
But if you talk
Until,
to Puerto Rican, they're not enjoying their status as a country being
yes,
Yeah, they might fight for the independence.
exactly.
they're not happy
So,
with that
so Mark,
at
I
all.
think might have to give up on this one here
What
as
is
we
that?
talk independence. Um,
Yeah, but one thing I'm thinking about, MP really should be legislating, like they should be in parliament advocating, like all these laws and whatever. That's what they should be actually doing.
Well,
They
there's a
shouldn't
flaw
be,
in our system, Michelle.
yeah, it needs to be fixed. And I think that will go a long way with making Jamaica better. Because as I say, growing up, I didn't know who was PNP or JLP. Like after election, everybody, like you never know. I just recently already they say who is who. Nobody never care. So that's what we need to get back to. And I think it would make a major change for Jamaica. Like it would be
I
major.
think so. Here's the thing, right? So we have a parliament with MPs, right? And inside parliament, those MPs have their constituencies that they're responsible for. But those MPs are also ministers. Some of them are also ministers that should take care of the country. So a minister different from an MP. The MP is for your constituency, your particular constituency. When you get ministerial post, it means that you're looking on a national stage. You're being paid now to take care of the country, right? Not just your constituency. And so we wonder if these persons who are MPs are eligible to run the country. So that's where the problem comes in sometimes.
Well, what Michelle is suggesting is that these persons who should run the country in these ministerial roles should be qualified and competent in the areas.
Yes.
Now, my spin on it, which is not going to sit well with the political directorate, is that in such instances where you recognize that Michelle, being of a particular party, is a member of parliament, but she's a competent attorney
Agriculturalist.
general.
Yes.
So we put her in as the attorney general, and the person who should run against as MP becomes the MP for the constituents because
Will you run against? Because that would be another party.
no, it's not. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, but I agree. No, I agree with that. It shouldn't be based on political affiliation. Why I get a ministry?
Position is a position
It
to
shouldn't
take
be.
care
Yeah,
of
it
the
shouldn't.
people
Yeah.
within the constituent.
As I said, my purpose, my thing is I look at general principles and I look at precedent. And I don't know any country that when
You have to set a precedent.
I can't look precedent. If your precedent now work, it's not working. So we have to create something that works.
You know what I think? The way that it should go, me, in my word estimation, make the MP them run them MP space constituency. But we have a upper house called the Senate.
I make all minister them in the Senate.
I think our ministers should come from the Senate. Since they're appointed. I think our ministers
expand the Senate then.
That is exactly right. That's my point. I think that if we expand the Senate and allow the ministers in the Senate to run the country, I think that's a better place to be.
But then again, you're going to have people in the opposition who are going to be running the country.
That's fine.
All right. Then you might as well make Leon Michel's position stay where the MP comes from the different party. Whoever you run against and that the person in charge, because move on and gonna take on another role.
They're not making political decisions. They're making decisions for the country. The
Yes,
people.
that's fine. And the one down here so is making it for the constituents,
Oh, that
not
came from the
political.
side. I'll be fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right. Team Jamaica, we
Sure,
say
we're good now, right? We're sure we're on the same page. I think
No,
this
I
is-
disagree.
What's new?
I disagree.
people.
I don't think they should expand the Senate.
Yes.
I really just think it should be people that are not really politically affiliated that are put in these ministries. I think if it's not politically motivated, things will get done. They're gonna put Jamaica first.
Mm-hmm.
All these political appointment is not good. Put people who are genuinely like they're good at their job, they know how it's done, they are innovative, creative, and know how to impact where it would be beneficial to Jamaica. Usually we see no, this is my opinion on what I see. They appoint people who they know, whether from the business sector or they have friendship with, don't necessarily know anything, and they put them in this position. When they're arguing, when you watch Parliament and they're arguing, you can literally tell they're arguing from a political standpoint. You cannot say they're independently arguing for what is good for Jamaica, and that is not good. So that is my thing.
I don't know that you heard what I just
Because but you say you want to expand and have like the political party in there. I just don't think it should be a political appointment at all. I just think it is somebody.
I never said anything about political appointment. In
All
fact,
right, hold that defense. Let me catch up because we have a lot of things saying here. Mark Hayes says, yes, Leo, expansion may work. A mixture is better than one party running everything. See US Congress as an example. But Leo, you're saying no to that. How come you're shaking your head? Michelle is saying the diversity is good. Mark says most of us outside immigrants are economic refugees from these independent countries. Once our governments do something to upset Exxon or Alcoa, they come in and kill our economy by devaluation of our currencies. It's not just Jamaica. This is going to
absolutely true.
Venezuela. No. Something says that we get 100. I don't know 100 what. Michelle, you hope by the time them get there, they change. Power corrupts. Absolutely, says Cheryl. Replying to Mark, Jamaica need checks and balances and be for all the people, not part specifics. Constituents, says Joni. And Lorna says, how can an accountant be a minister of health or a medical doctor, a minister of finance? What? And he can't count.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. So that's all in support of the diversity that we're advocating.
I really think. Listen, one of the most well placed person in government was
The finance minister.
of finance. Yeah, I really think he has everything that he needed to do that job. Now, politics may have gotten in the way, right? But I think that he has the skill set, he has the attitude, he has the look, and he has everything that he needed to be the best minister of finance. I think that politics got in his way, right?
Yeah, you could have said in the end.
After time we start hearing about
and they do the gimmicks.
That didn't fare well with me.
And I think he was uncomfortable too. Not to cut you off, I think he was uncomfortable too because even when he was doing the gimmicks, you could see the discomfort in it.
He was
uncomfortable with it. Stick to the substance.
With it. And so I don't know that we need to place. The one thing I agree with Michelle about is that we need to place people who have the aptitude for this ministry. And not only the aptitude, but they once you become a minister or you're slated to be a minister, you go through 3-4 months of training in these areas so that you don't go in there and start become a looking like you don't know what to do.
And incompetent.
I think he's leaving at the right time.
There are certain words I don't like using them because when you say them, they are degrading, right? So we kind of smooth it out.
Incompetent.
Yeah, it's a bad
Yeah.
word. Yeah, all right.
But that's why I think he's leaving at the right time, though, because he when it got downhill for him. I didn't like it for
We
him.
don't know about that. We don't know why.
No, when they got downhill, meaning like when they call combative in a parliament, like he used to just talk about the substance of it, like what he's doing. Then I see they get into this like a back and forth and the mimics. So I think no leaving is the right time for him.
Somebody said he gave out red card.
So that he was great until he started giving out red cards.
That's a political thing.
Exactly the kind of gimmicks. He leave the right time.
I hear what Michelle is saying and I understand. I think a lot of people hold that to be true. They hold him in high regard,
Yeah.
trained, he's competent, he comes with a good track record
Mhm.
for finance. He understood it clearly and he was well placed. And he
Yeah.
maintained his independent self, even though as minister within a political setup. And at a point, yes, it became a little bit too ticklish and
Yeah, it was. And
pointed.
then, yeah, and before, like, not to cut you off, like before, like when you say you want somebody that's independent minded, like he's not just focused on his political party, because before, like, even if the opposition raised that issue, he would be like, I'll take the time, and he usually took the time to look into it and then to come with a resolution. But
Absolutely.
then
I like
after when kind of get, like
yes,
petty with
kind of is.
everyone.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. But
To-
I think of instead of, I think most of what I see going on right now in government is that policies are made to undo things for political gain, or to
Yeah.
do things for political gain rather than doing things for the people, right?
Exactly.
Just recently, I saw where the EOJ got put under some other ministry, and I thought it was a conflict of interest. I have a problem with, for example, the the Speaker of the House, which is a very powerful position. Um, you know,
Yo,
is-
just
is-
hold on. Let me just don't
yeah,
go
let me finish speaking, Diana, before you cut me out. I have a problem with
no, I'm not okay. I just need to mark where I'm at. All
yeah,
right.
I have a problem with things when they happen. That it appears that it's not for the best interest of the country, but rather to position for for political advantage. That's where my thing is, and I don't really care what people think or say about me. What I care about people and and what they have to offer. If it's about offering for the wider populace, for the country, for the advancement of the country, whatever you do, I'll support that. But once it's gonna be just because it's gonna go against the leader of the opposition or go against the prime minister, I have a problem with that big time, big time, big time. That's my point.
All right. Okay. Well, we disproved that. How can an accountant that? Cheryl says, yes, the obvious is a political director. It is running the operations. The role of permanent secretaries are diminished. Albert says, that's why he couldn't work with Audley Shaw. Don't know what that means. Um, Norman Nicholas says, teacher, principal, JTA president to have been elevated to minister seemed to have been the best thing for education. Sadly, he flattered to deceive. Nigel was under pressure. Wedderburn is saying, IMO, I don't know what that means. Walk the walk, talk the talk, look the part. That's all surface, look deeper, please, and see. Um, I, I, I don't know
What is IMO?
the Minister of Finance, he probably referencing. All right. I just had wanted to catch up with the talks on it. Some I've skipped through and some I've not.
Yeah, I'm fine with, as long as we're advancing the country. When it takes hard work to become a person who understands and root for the other person other than yourself. It's a very tough. There are more people out there that will garner things for themselves. It's easy because you want power, you want advancement, you want promotion, all of that for yourself. It's easy to do that. The hardest thing to do is to work on behalf of others. It's the hardest thing. It's a learned principle that most people cannot get to. It's tough. So you put people in the positions who you say are leaders, and they appear to have all of these skills. But once they get in there, it's hard to control what they do because everything is coming back at me. Yeah, me, and not the people who really matter.
All right, guys. There are a number of other news articles that we've not looked at. We wish to offer condolence to all those persons and prayers for those who were injured in the shooting at the Mandeville Market on on Friday evening. Also, all those vendors who lost their property down in Hanover in that other market fire. And there's a little cynical part of me saying then all this kind of activity in the market and just burn out people things just get up and burn down so again so that you can rebuild it and that sort of thing. I don't know.
What was,
Norman
what was that Diana Book Market? What happened?
the people place burn down in Hanover.
Oh yes, I saw that market. Yeah.
Loads and loads of vendors, lost their things, and it's just so hard. It makes me hard because I'm sure they don't carry insurance and all of those things, Or is this an opportunity, to encourage insurance for vendors in this kind of space?
They don't
Anybody
have
have a birthday
insurance.
celebration? I mean, not think for Michelle, but we can do a survey. Um,
It was an intentional arson. It's intentional thing.
But it kind of
one
weird.
of
Oh, they always
the
are burned down, right?
yes,
Lately, it's like every minute the market are burned down. I want to
yes,
see what development is coming. Like usually when I hear burn down, I look at it and say, let me wait a year or two to see what's gonna emerge at that
yes,
location. Will they
yes,
rebuild the facility or whatever burned down?
possible.
Or yes, so I feel like figure it out.
But
So then for
rebuilding is
arson,
people who got their stuff burned out. It's really tough because they bought their things to their
yeah,
things to sell, and they don't have it
because
anymore.
yeah, because the one in Montego Bay burned last week. The one in Kingston always a burn. So
Yes,
it's like, what
yes,
what's happening?
yes. Me
Are
always
they
get
prime
thinking.
location?
And
We'll
I wonder
see.
to myself, all right, fine, is this an attempt for relocation, displacement?
Yeah, we'll
What is it
see.
going to be called? Construction opportunities, what it is. But guys, we have about 5 minutes left. Any birthday greetings?
Where you say 5 minutes or 1 minute? What you talk about?
I see five. It says here 1:56 and 55
Every
seconds.
clock mind their own business, but I think yours is
Clearly.
wrong.
11:59 right now.
I think yours
Um,
is wrong.
all right.
We can go by Diana's time doing it. It's okay.
I have a piece of poetry that I'm going to read. I've
Please
been
read it.
wanting to read it for the longest while. It's a piece by Faith, and it says, Stark, raving, blind.
Mhm.
From behind, Faith Graham. From behind, I saw the confidence in the steps of a man, side to side alongside the road. His white cane was a pendulum, keeping time and no doubt counting strokes to his destination. Locks ballooning his red, green, and gold tam was the slight framed Rastaman. He walked in faith and not by light. He had found Rastafari without his sight, commanding the
Rastafarian.
streets surely by the grace of his imperial majesty. How did he come to know and understand the pain and suffering of the black man? His senses were aligned as he fearlessly trod his journey. Oppression and love know no need for sight. Black angels summoned him bright. They were unencumbered, shining bright, guarding against the worst of his plight. This little Rastaman was a giant among men, mind more than man, man more than mine. The big little Rastaman was the stark, raving, blind. Thank you, Faith, for sharing. Any
That's a
birthday
good one.
there?
Very nice, very nice, very nice. Very nice.
Very
And
Oh,
it's real.
I have a few people that are important to say happy birthday to.
You guys see? Are you gonna?
First, no, I
little
sing. You
after.
want me to sing? I'll
Yeah.
let you sing.
No, no.
Okay. First, I want to say happy birthday to my cousin, Beanie Nyla from New York. Her birthday was last week. one of my other mentor, Joan, her birthday was also last week. And also one of my friends, Chris's birthday is the 7th, and my sister, whose birthday is the 10th, and my best friend Diane in Jamaica, whose birthday is the 13th.
Yay!
Happy
Always birthday
birthday.
greetings. Yes. Do you
Mhm.
have anybody who wants to send birthday greetings to?
This week I woke up and found that a friend of mine, who's member of an organization that I was a president of last in California, she died. Her name is Patty. Loretta Perry, her name is. Loretta Perry was a giant in California.
Yeah.
Everything with the organization want and not have, but just say, I'll take care of it, that kind of thing. And she'll be missed. We really enjoyed the relationship that we had with Pat Perry. Um, she'll be missed. I'm gonna go to the funeral in California, so that's how important she is. And
Yeah.
then my son is having his first child on the 9th.
Oh, your grandfather, no.
Really?
Congratulations.
But on a sad note, my second child died on the 7th last year. And so
Oh,
there's a lot of things that's happening in October.
yeah.
And so, it's up and down, good and bad and stuff. But
Yeah.
wish everyone all the successes and then keep the faith, whatever it is that you encounter. And if you're in leadership, remember that there's no EMPARRASS.
That escapes me.
Me too. Like, me try to figure out what
Lorna
that
says,
mean.
happy birthday, Julian. Mark says, thank you, everybody. Lorna says, so sorry, Leo. I have birthday greetings, very special birthday greetings to Donna Scott Motley, Senator Motley. She celebrates her birthday tomorrow. Donna, one of these days we will invite you to come here, but happy birthday to you when it comes. Trust that you will have a wonderful day. I know that you're doing a present, you're training some attorneys tomorrow, so that will keep you busy. But happy birthday, Donna. Um,
So no, no, we spell EMBARRASSED.
mm.
Embarrassment.
We're also him.
Spell
We're
it
gonna
again. Go
sue
I
slower.
think that was
we're gonna
the word is the theme of the show today.
we're gonna
For
sue you.
embarrassment.
We're gonna sue you. Faith says condolences, Leo, and congrats on the grandfathership. Guys, it was good as always to be here. It's a little bit overcast today, so I'm hoping for a
Same
really cool
here.
day. Yes, I'm gonna keep safe. Jessie says happy birthday to my sister in England, and her birthday is on the 9th. Hey Jessie, how's Mr. Smith? Say howdy for me. Miss Rowe, how's your mom? Give them our love as always. Guys, Leo, take it that we have to get off, or is this unlimited time?
We are
I
gonna go.
have to get off.
Thank you so
I
much.
have a life.
Have a
I
wonderful
have a
day.
life, people.
Well, it's nice to have you guys. It's nice to see you guys this
Yeah.
morning. I didn't see Michelle on the regular Michelle online, but I
I
think
The
tell you that
new
Michelle is
Rasta.
she's transitioning to locks, and so she start her locks, and we encourage
Rastafari.
her,
I
and
am
we bond the ball them
I
on the
saw the
show.
ballad stay
I
them.
am
I saw the ballad them stay. I saw the ballad them stay them. Bad man.
I don't eat pork.
Oh, and we did ascribe the growth of my hair to my pork
Yeah,
consumption.
yeah,
So
2.5 years. Well, I hope mine grows quickly. But
All right,
yeah,
guys, have a wonderful day.
yeah, bye
Yeah,
everybody.
I know.
bye. Thumbs up, Jesse. It's still live, I'm told. Okay. Bye.